Kolbrin Bible, read to you by Nick Andrew Hurley. Part 2, Chapter 11, The Teachings of Yosira. These are the words for the sons of the true doctrine, written in the Temple of Sacred Mysteries at Yenkeb in the days of darkness, by the unnamed Lord of the secret belief who then lived. The true knowledge of the teachings and mysteries of Yosira concerning the spirit within the body, taken from his books and rewritten, truly, after the custom of writing. Yosira spoke to his sons in this manner: I am the vice-regent of the God of gods. I am the custodian of the book of power. I am the voice of heaven. I am the one sent into Temura as the light-bearer, that a call may go thence throughout all the lands. Let every man be watchful of his deeds and ways. Whosoever be watchful of himself is a man of wisdom, for he shall be saved from the terror of everlasting darkness. I am the torchbearer, running before the chair-lighter of truth. I come to reveal the greatness of men, to tell them of their immortal selves, of their spirits which have to be ransomed from the doom of devouring darkness. The God of gods spoke unto me, saying, Long have you dwelt under my shadow and listened to my words. Now arise and go hence to a land where these things of which we have spoken can be established, to a place whither I shall lead you, for it is not proper that those who dwell there should remain uninstructed. Behold, I have given you the secret of immortality, but now that though all men are born into heritage or mortality, not all enjoy it. The God of gods, in his infinite mercy, plunges men into the waters of forgetfulness, yet even from there they may return to be renewed, not of themselves, but through the supplications of others. When Yosira came into Temuna, he gathered his sons together on the stones beneath the place called Home Tree, and spoke to them in this manner: I am the dawn lighter, and a torchbearer for the God of gods. These are my words, which you will do well to absorb, as the dry sands soak up water. Though they are words of wisdom, they are useless unless accepted by men who have control over themselves. They have no value to men who are unable to feel compassion for others or who close their ears to truth. You are the few chosen ones, my sons, light of my light, who shall hand the light on down through the generations. To you I give the true conception of God. To you I give this standard, that it may be a rallying point for those who will accompany us. For we stand on the border of a land which has found favor in the eyes of our God. With us are fighting men, but they are few, while those who stand ready to repel us are many. Therefore we will not set ourselves against them in battle array, but go among them with guile, to gather many who will fight with us. You shall be the light of the fighting men, even as I am the light, and the God of gods is my light. The light that is within me was kindled at the supreme source, which is the God of gods. Therefore my light shines with such brilliance that it must be veiled in part, lest it blind you. It is even as the sun is seen through a veil of clouds. It may be gazed upon for as long as desired. Seen thus is a thing of beauty and mystery, not something which burns and consumes the eyes of the beholder. Therefore, even as I veil my light from you, so shall you veil your light from the eyes of the uninstructed. Yet in all matters not pertaining to the light, you shall instruct them in the frillness of truth. In all matters concerning their bodies, you shall instruct them in truth. But in all matters concerning the Lord of the body, you shall instruct them with a light that is veiled. Behold, the nature of man. Within him is a spark of divine source, and this is the Lord of the body. This alone is everlasting. This alone of man is his true self. This spark is enwrapped within a heavy mantle of matter. It is enclosed in a covering of earthly clay. This spark alone is the seat of life. It alone has understanding and thought. Such things are not with the clay of the flesh, neither are they in the stones from which the bones come. The life within man radiates out from the enclosed spark, and through the blood endows the body with heat and life. Life gives forth heat, and the greater the life, the greater the heat. As the sun gives light and fire spreads heat, as the flower radiates perfume, so does the central light give forth a vaporous, unseeable glow, and this our fathers called the breath of God. This breath comes forth in two manifestations. There is a heavy form and a light form, and from these all things are compounded. From the one comes the sacred glow in its two aspects, which men call the breath of God, and from this are made all things which are in heaven and earth. Above is the God of gods, and below him are the heavens and earth. Heaven is divided in twain. There's a place of light and a place of darkness. Within the place of light dwell the spirits of good, and within the place of darkness dwell the spirits of evil. Between them the boundary is not fixed, but flows back and forth according to their fluctuating strengths. But they who abide in the light shall always prevail, for light will ever dispel darkness. Therefore, those who dwell in darkness withdraw before the brilliance of those who dwell in light. This light and darkness are not such as men can understand, for it is not the light and darkness we know on earth. Before the gates of heaven is the land of the horizon, whence go all who depart from their earthly body. From here there are two great gates. One leads to the place of light, and the other to the place of darkness. And the Lord of the body is admitted into its appointed place according to its likeness. He who is filled with light, and is a brilliant one, cannot go to the place of darkness, for it would draw back before him. Neither can he who is a dark one go into the place of light, for there he would shrivel before the light, as the white worm coming forth from the damp darkness in its hole shrivels in the light of the sun. Between heaven and earth there is a great gulf across which the dwellers in heaven may not return, but earth is not wholly beyond their reach. Man receives from the place of light that which influences him for good, and from the place of darkness that which affects him for evil. These things may be written, but the secret things concerning them may not be recorded in such manner that they come to the knowledge of the unenlightened men. That which comes from heaven, whether influencing for good or evil, comes forth as shades in the likeness of men, which are rare, or more often as lakes, which are like unto moats. It may also come as waves of air, but not air such as we breathe and feel. It is something altogether different in nature. Things come forth which are not stable, and these are the formless ones. All things are held in form by the breath of God, which changes formlessness, but the formless ones can alter from form into instability. There are three great spheres, and that containing the earth is held together by the great glow outflowing from the God of gods. That part of the great glow, which is light and contains life, is called mana, while that which is heavy and contains the flesh of things of the earth is called manua. The one who is the God of gods is so great that he cannot be defined in the speech of men. Neither can they conceive him in their thoughts, for he is beyond their understanding. Mortal man has limitations. Therefore, let men conceive him as they will. It is of no importance, providing their conception serves both his purpose and the glorification of man. Man is not yet great, and until he becomes so, it is well that he worship the many God forms conceived within his thoughts, providing they be such as tend to raise him above himself. Nor do ritual and worship do harm of themselves, unless they, too, thickly overlay the truth so it is buried from sight. Ritual and outward forms of worship can be aids to purification of thought and provoke a kind of sustenance for the Lord of the body. What are the lesser gods beloved by awakened men, but thought-conceived friends and guides? Yet this is a dangerous path for men to tread, balancing between light and darkness. Therefore, when man wanders towards the abyss of darkness, reveal a little more light, that he may see and so return to the path. Beware, too, lest he follow gods that are false guides and would lure him into the quicksand of carnality or into the wilderness of ignorance. Before crossing into Tamura, Yosira chose captains to be over the fighting men, and they sent forth men to spy out the land. He also sent some from among his sons into the land of Tewar, that they might talk with the people there. And these came back bringing hostages from the governors of the land of Tewar. Then Yosira spoke with the sons of the governors, and they gave ear to his words. They were receptive to his speech. Yosira spoke to the people. These are the words of the God of gods. Henceforth, No child shall be sold into bondage by its father or by any who has ward over it. Such may not yet be the custom of all the people in this land, but if they become mighty, this they may do, for such is the nature of men. If a man have a woman in bondage, he shall not cause her to become a harlot unto men, for this is a great wickedness, and shall not go unpunished. If she becomes with child unto her master, then neither she nor the child shall be given into bondage to another. But if she be given to a free man who takes her in marriage, then it will be well. The greatest wickedness in the eyes of the God of gods is incest of the first degree, which is that between mother and son, or father and daughter, or between the mother's mother and the son of the mother, or between the mother's father and the daughter of the mother, or between the father's father and the father's daughter, or between the father's mother and the father's son. This is a wickedness unto the God of gods, for it calls forth the strongest of the formless ones, causing it to enter an earthly body and become an abomination before the eyes of God and man. Therefore, they who commit such an act shall perish by fire. If it be committed with a child, then the child shall not perish, but it shall be branded with the mark of incest. Adultery is a foul and evil thing which you shall abhor, for it permits the Lukim to pollute the fountain of life. In a far-off land there lived a queen more beautiful than the dawnflower, who, because she was powerful, disregarded her heritage of womanhood. As powerful kings had many wives, she thought she could do likewise with men. The God of gods and creator of life created men and women intending that each should play a different role. They are in no ways alike, for as men have their function, so do women have theirs. What is meant for one is not meant for the other, and because the Creator made them as they are, each should follow their own path, never seeking to journey along the others. Now, while the seed of one man was yet with her, this queen took the seed of another. And the seed of one man strove with that of the other, so that both perished and became a corrupt pasture. Thus the way was cleared for Lukim to enter into the antechamber of life, and the sacred shrine of life was polluted, becoming the breeding place of foulness. So it was that when other men came unto her, the flesh of their bodies was seized upon by the Lukim and corrupted, for foul Lukim had made their abode within the woman. So the wellspring of life became a fountain of polluting evil. Adultery is an abomination to the bestower of life, therefore let it not go unpunished. None shall sleep in the bed of another, unless the spell of his presence be first removed. For he who goes into any place, or takes up anything while it is under the spell of another's presence, shall surely suffer. They who are in the same kin, living under one roof, will not suffer, unless sickness already be there. None shall eat from the platter of another, or drink from his drinking vessel, until the spell of his presence has been removed. None among those who know the God of gods shall walk in anything poured out of the libation unto strange gods, neither shall he touch any part of the libation. If it come upon him, he shall go forthwith to the master of mysteries and be cleansed. Yosira said unto the people, These are the words of the God of gods. None among you shall wash himself in waters used by another, and contained within anything made by the hand of man. None among those who know God shall touch a woman while the days of her heritage are upon her. No man shall go unto a woman with unwashed hands, and when a man and woman have lain together, both shall purify themselves before going about their tasks. Among the Lukim, none is more subtle than the Nabal, which seeks sustenance among the food of men. Therefore, if you have bread within your dwelling, then it shall not be hung up, but if there be meat or fish, then it shall be suspended within the dwelling. If you have bran or meal which had been pounded, then it shall be kept in a capped container with norata flowers. Thus the Lukim will not come upon it. Neither crushed corn nor the crumbs of any repast shall be left within the sight of man or within the boundaries of the dwelling, lest the Nabal seize upon for their sustenance. All things that have held life but have not been used for food shall be buried within the ground. All vessels which have held food but hold it no longer shall be made clean with sun and sand. When the flesh of any beast or of fish or fowl becomes dark in your keeping, or has the smell of rottenness upon it, then it is a sign that the Nabal have come upon it, and it shall be taken out and buried where no beast can come upon it. Thus the Nabal are left without sustenance and will be forced back into their dark abode. But if you permit them to sustain themselves, then they will come in their hosts, and being fattened and strengthened, will afflict you with many terrors during the night watches. If the pouring places or the spout of any pitcher or pot have blackness upon it, then that pitcher or pot shall be broken, for it has been entered by the fiery Lukim. If any who know God eat with strangers, they shall purify themselves at the rising of the sun on the following day. If any among you eat with a hand uncleansed by water or sand, then be prepared for attack by the Lukim of the night. He who draws the blood of any beast must cleanse himself of all blood, lest he be attacked by the dark Lukim. Neither food nor drink of any kind shall be kept under a bed or against a sleeping place, lest the Lukim of the night come and take up their abode therein. These are the words of God of gods, spoken through the mouth of Yosira. Yosira said this also: all things which may sustain the Lukim are to be buried or burnt. Anything coming forth from the nostrils or mouth of any man or woman is rejected from within and becomes sustenance for the Lukim. Still waters that lie upon the ground are their drinking places and forbidden to men. Water shall not be used as drinking unless it is drawn from within the ground or be in a place where it is shaded by trees. Eat only food known to be wholesome, and which gives contentment to the stomach. In taste it should be soothing and refreshing, never bringing pain and discomfort. Eat not of anything that is too dry or oversalted, or which brings sickness upon you. Any food of which men eat, and has become rotten or moldy, has been seized by the Lukim for sustenance. This you can see, for the rottenness and mold upon it is the excrement of Lukim. Anything that has blood in it and is dead, having died of itself, shall not be eaten, for the Lukim have made their abode in it. No man shall eat uncooked meat. Even that which the sandfarers carry shall not be eaten. The slaying of any man or any woman is forbidden, but it is not unlawful to slay in war or in self-defense, or to uphold the purity of the household and home. To kill deceitfully or to strike from behind is murder, and shall not go unpunished. If blood be shed, it shall not cry out from the ground in vain, and unto the kinsman of each one slain shall be the order of revenge. If you swear an oath one with another, saying, Great God, bear witness, or before any strange god, to deceive another man, then consider. For only the most foolhardy turn their back on such an oath, for it is sworn on the life of the Lord of the body, and if it be broken, the Lord of your body will be everlastingly disfigured with an irremovable scar. Man has many trials to overcome in his life, and not the least of these, testing, is oath-keeping. Though an oath may diminish and become nothing with the passing years according to the memories of men, it is everlastingly impressed on the Lord of the body. Wiser far is he who never makes an oath. If any man say, the whirlwind, and the sandstorm, and the flood waters, and the burning fires, these do I fear because I see them, but the Lukim, which I see not, neither do I fear, that man is a fool, for he knows not the deficiencies of his own eyes. The Lukim he will learn to know by their manifestations, for they will seize upon his body and torment it, sometimes even unto death. It is likewise with the God of gods. None may see him, but by his manifestations he is made known unto men. Yosira spoke to the captains of the fighting men and to those who were with them, and said, When we come into this new land, all things that the people who dwell therein hold sacred, you will neither defile nor mock. Neither shall you stir up strife with any man, for we come to them as friends, not foes. Therefore, when Yosira and all those with him came into the land of Tewar and dwelt there, peace was in the land. Then Yosira taught the people of Tewar the weaving of cloth and the working of metals, and showed them how to make tools and weapons of metal cast in a mysterious manner. But the secret of the sharp-edged weapons he revealed only to his own. The people of Tewar built a habitation for Yosira and a temple of brick bound with reeds. There were skins upon the walls and on the floor, and the door were of wood. Then Yosira spoke to his sons in this manner: These are the things in which the people of this place shall be instructed. The dove is the most sacred of birds, and shall not be eaten, but if the people say, forbid it not to us for sacrifice to our gods, then it shall not be forbidden to them. The milk of all beasts which do not have horns and part the hoof is not for the sustenance of man. But if the people say, forbid it not, for it is our custom, then it shall not be forbidden to them. The sacrifice of breast children at the burial of the dead shall be forbidden, for the blood of the young cannot provide life for the old, each man being the fashioner of his own destiny. He that has life shall bear it with him, and none can possess the body and life of a breast child except the God who gave it life. He who buries a living breast child with the dead shall himself die. All things buried with the departed one, whether they be weapons or dishes, instruments or ornaments, shall have the form released from them before they are placed within the ground. This shall be the law unto all those who work with metal, whether it be gold, silver, or copper. 1 day in 7 shall be a day of rest for the fires wherewith the metals are wrought. On this day no fire will be lit, and no metal touched or moved from its place. On the eve of this day all things of metal that have been made since the last day of rest shall be placed in a trough of sanctified oil, remaining there until their appointed time. Nothing shall go out from the workplace of a craftsman in metal until it has passed through the oil. End of chapter 11.